I'm Rick Francis with Singing News with my newfound friend Billy Walker, and I'll explain why he's my newfound friend in just a minute. But let's just learn a little bit about Billy Walker. I know you are in Florida.
Yeah.
So tell me about your background. Raised in Florida?
Raised in Florida, little town called Perry, Florida, which is right outside of Tallahassee. And so 50
Tallahassee is a suburb of Perry.
That's right, right.
Right?
It's growing from Perry. That's right.
Grew up in Florida.
Yep.
Had a chance to work with this guy at the Ark Encounter just a few days ago, and he was incredible. Did a great job.
Well, I appreciate that.
But one thing that I noticed immediately was how seasoned you were on stage. So there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Been doing this
Been doing
this just a little bit. 30 years.
30 years.
30 years. Yes, sir.
Not though as a soloist.
Not as a
correct?
solo. No, I've only been doing that for about 3.5 months.
So tell me about your family group or your background in music with your family.
Well, we started out as a full-time ministry as the Walkers, my family, November 16th, 1991. And we were in full-time ministry for about a little over 2 years, 2 months. We were in a bus accident in Blacksburg, South Carolina. Carbon monoxide filled the cabin, and my dad was killed. And we took 1 week off, and we felt like that if we took more time, that the more time you take away, the harder that it is to get back out. So we got right back out there and did it for another 28 years after Dad. Mom's 84 years old. She'll be 85 next month. And she came to us not long ago and said, I've been beating the roads up a long time, and they've been beating me up. She said, I think it's time to kind of take a step back. And so off I went. And so I'm like, thanks for the notice, y'all. But so
You never stopped.
Never stopped.
And if you think he just sings around Florida, just to give you perspective, his trip to Singing News offices and to Nashville is actually part of a very long tour. Tell
Yes,
me
sir.
where all you're going on this trip.
And we, of course, we're in Tennessee today. We were just in Kentucky with you guys at the Ark. This weekend, I'm in Arkansas. The next week, I'm in Iowa. The next week, I'm in Minnesota. For the month of September, I'm in Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico. I'm working my way back to Tennessee.
Busy guy.
And then we'll be headed up back to Kentucky and Indiana, Michigan, and then we'll work our way and conclude over in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware, and we get home right before Thanksgiving.
That's moving right
That's
there.
moving.
Let's go back to the Ark Encounter a few days ago. What was that experience like for you?
A first-class experience.
Yeah.
From the moment that Singing News contacted me about singing, the communication was clear, everything just smooth. When I got to the Ark, the staff of the Ark was fantastic.
Amazing.
I don't think that I hardly lifted a finger getting my gear to the stage and back. You and all the folks at Singing News just made me feel. You made me feel like triumphant. It felt like there was no difference in how you treated me and how you treated them, and I appreciate that. Even Ray Flynn that night had somebody escort me to my car in his vehicle, and so I thought, well, hey, that's pretty cool.
Well, we were excited to have you there.
It was an awesome day. Great crowd. The Williamsons, triumphant, did a fantastic job. People saved, and that's what it's all about. That's
Right.
what these events are all about. And so, man, I was just honored that you guys thought of me and included me in a fantastic experience.
In fact, the event is called 40 Days and 40 Nights of Gospel Music at the Ark Encounter, the event that he was a part of. It's still running, it's still going through September 10th. And you were there, I believe, on August 5th.
August 5th.
So just a few days ago. For those of you that kind of hear him talking about all the places that he's going and all that he's doing and think, boy, that's the life. Touring as a gospel artist, as a soloist. You had an experience after I saw you at the Ark, which was just days ago.
Yeah.
You want to share that experience with us?
Friday morning, of course, I live in Florida. I was about 750 miles from home, and so we had concerts in South Georgia the weekend. So we got up at about 5 o'clock. We left Williamstown at 6 a.m. Driving along, mile marker 43 in London, Kentucky, and a semi-truck hit the back quarter panel of my car. We spun a few times. We hit into the concrete barriers. And amazingly, no one in my vehicle, my wife, my son, myself, and our dog, no one was hurt.
Praise the
God
Lord.
was so good.
God is good.
God was so good.
But you had a totaled vehicle.
A
correct?
totaled vehicle, yes.
And you're how many miles from home? 700?
At that point, yeah, probably around 700, yeah.
So how did you get home and how did you get back on the road?
Well, we tried enterprise rental, everyone within a 125-mile radius. No one had a one-way rental. So I had an incredible friend that drove 2 hours to get me and my family and all of my gear and all of our stuff, took us back to their place, and then the next morning got up at about 5 a.m. again, and he drove us right at 700 miles home.
Wow.
And just
Wow.
above and beyond what most people would. And,
Yeah.
and I very much appreciate that.
Absolutely. And because of your obligations for ministry,
Mm-hmm.
you had to get back out there.
Had to
So
get
you're
back.
in a rental car
I'm
even
in a
on this
rental car.
trip.
Yep. My RV is messed up, and that's the reason why I was at the Ark in the car. And so my RV is supposed to be fixed this week, and I'm gonna run back home and pick that up and get right back out. And so yeah, I had to rent a little Ford Fiesta. And you see clown cars and you wonder how many clowns come out of a car. Well, that's kind of like with my gear and my personal stuff. It's like, how much can Billy Walker get into a Ford Fiesta? And if you saw it, you would be amazed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me about your wife, family.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know she's a part of your ministry.
My wife, she and I, we've been married 18 years. She has been an awesome support for what I do. She doesn't get the credit that most artists' wives deserve because she's in the background.
What's her name?
And Angela.
Angela.
And then I have a 13-year-old son. His
Okay.
name is Trip. He's Billy the Third. That's why we call him Trip for triple. And my son has autism. And he has childhood apraxia of speech.
Okay.
But he's an amazing little man. And but yeah, my wife, she's been an amazing support. Never has complained about the time that I'm away from family, and with her basically by herself raising a special needs child. She has just kind of come into that calling, and she just about pushes me out of the house. She goes, "You got to go. This is what God's called you to do.
Yeah.
You get out there and do it." And
Big shout out to Angela and Tripp.
yeah.
And thank you for what you do and for supporting Billy. How can folks find you on social media and the web and whatever information you want to share?
The easiest way is just go to Facebook and search Billy Walker Music. And you can find me on the web at billywalkerjr.com.
Great guy and a very talented singer, songwriter, musician. Look him up. Thank you for stopping by today.
I appreciate it, Rick. Thank you,
All right.
bud.